right, it's time for your daily Marvel Snap video. And the first thing that we need to address is Deathwave is back. I saw KM Best playing it on stream, and then Dara made a video about it, and then I think Dexter made a video about it. This is an oldie but goodie. This was a dominant deck a couple seasons ago, and it is back with a vengeance. It is everywhere. As being a Shuri player, this deck has two absolutely amazing solutions to the Shuri build that I've been playing, and that is Arrow and Shang-Chi. One of the new things that is coming up more is people are running Iceman instead of Hood. I think you can run Hood instead of Iceman. I think Iceman's excellent there. Also, I have been running a deck that is a little bit more budget, and a video for this is coming out. This is kind of like a budget deck. Well, it still runs She-Hulk and Arrow, Quinjet. You can definitely replace Cloak with Lizard if you wanted to, but I had decent results against Deathwave because everybody is running Deathwave. So let's get to the news at hand. There's a couple things. We have a new card coming tonight. We have a new location coming tomorrow. There'll be a separate video about the location tomorrow. A lot of people are talking about how this ghost card is going to work. Ongoing, your cards are always revealed last, and there's a couple decks that like that. I think decks with Valkyrie, decks with Galactus definitely want to be in a situation with on turn 6 they're revealing last, and also tech cards like to be revealed last. Now the big question is, if you have priority on turn 6 and you play Ghost first followed up by Shang-Chi, does your Shang-Chi resolve after your opponent plays their card? Someone pointed out to me that that's how it works with Invisible Woman. You know, if you play Invisible Woman on turn 6 and then you play another card behind her, they do follow the rules of this ongoing effect. And so maybe it'll work that way. We just simply do not know. But Valkyrie definitely is a card that likes to be played last. That way they can put it into a lane, and if your opponent puts something in that lane, they all get reset to 3. Shang-Chi would definitely like to be resolved last. That way, if your opponent drops a big bad death or She-Hulk on that lane and you have priority, well, not having priority might be to your advantage for like Shang-Chi, or, you know, Enchantress into a null. And so this is kind of an interesting situation, an interesting card, Shadow King, which I feel is like super situational. I don't think a lot of people bought Shadow King. I know I was not entirely interested in a very specific tech card, situational for sure. And then Galactus players typically like playing last because they don't want their null and their death blown up by Shang-Chi or an Enchantress. So this card, I'm guessing, we'll see play. I'm just not sure if it works the way I think it does, and we're going to know. Now, am I going to buy it? No. I'm way more interested in Kang. Kang is coming later on this month, and I would rather use my collector tokens, but they're very valuable on Kang. Now, if Ghost becomes a big deal, then I might change my mind, but I'm not 100% sold on Ghost. I'm very interested in other people getting Ghost and seeing how it works. But for me, this card seems a bit too situational. I prefer cards that are powerful, that can be played in many decks. This might be a powerful card, but I don't know if it's going to be played in a lot of decks. And I feel like Kang, and I could be wrong, is going to be a powerful card, going to be able to be used in a lot of decks. We'll have to see. Also, let's talk about the new location that is coming out tomorrow. I just wanted to point this out. This is going to be on Tuesday night, and it'll be for 2 days, appearing 40% more. I'm going to make a separate video about Quantum Tunnel. When you play a card here, swap it with a card in your deck. That just screams on reveal abilities. Having tons of cards with on reveal seems good. Turn 1 Iceman, turn 2 Scorpion. You get the picture. Probably a Lockjaw deck. This kind of feels like a Lockjaw location. And so those are the types of decks that I want to explore, and I will be making an entire video. Also on Reddit, and I don't think everybody agrees with this, but I just wanted to see what your thoughts, and definitely put it in the comment section, is the best season so far with Zabu and Silver Surfer nerf. the number of decks that have become more varied, and there are not too many overpowered decks. I'm having a lot more fun in my level, a collection level 2600 rank 80 than the previous series. Do you not agree? And I think largely I've heard from some people that they were really upset about the Zabu and Silver Surfer nerfs, and now that they played it, they're a little bit happier. I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of people still not happy about the nerfs. The one thing that I'll say, or at least what I'm seeing, is that there's still a lot of dominant decks. I was talking about Deathwave at the beginning of the video. It seems like the decks that were strong in the seasons prior are now coming to the forefront, and it does feel like it's a little bit more diverse. I'm a little bit opinionated right now because Deathwave is everywhere. Everyone is playing Deathwave. Also, people have been asking me on what cards do I think are going to drop in the next series drop. Now, we don't know the frequency, but I'm guessing that the frequency of the drops are going to be every 4 to 5 weeks, or probably the length of the patches. And it's pretty clear to see what cards are going to be dropping from Series 4 to Series 3. And my prediction is that all of these cards that were added into this pool on November 29th will be dropping. Agent Coulson, Atuma, Helicarrier, M'Baku, Maria Hill, and Orca. So not a lot of hype there. I think there's some good cards there that are somewhat situational. I'm definitely somewhat interested in trying out Coulson. I already have Atuma and Helicarrier and Maria Hill and Orca. So for me, it'll just be Agent Coulson and M'Baku that I have not experienced. But we'll see. Now, as far as the cards that are going to be dropping from Series 5 into Series 4, they did announce that Silver Surfer was going to be on that list. Silver Surfer was added to Pool 5 on January 4th. I'm confident saying that the cards that were added before January 4th will be dropped from 5 to 4, with the exception of Galactus and Thanos. Those are going to be special cards that are not going to be moving down from 5 to 4. They call them the big bads. They are in some sort of permanent status or currently permanent status in Series 5 until they announce something differently. But this does leave a situation for Null and Darkhawk and Sentry to drop down, and then possibly Sauron. I'm not sure on Sauron. Sauron came after Silver Surfer, but I feel like that they probably want to move 5 cards on the drop rather than 4 cards on the drop. So Null is of high interest for Galactus players. Darkhawk is of some interest. I'm not sure how playable Darkhawk is now that Zabu has been nerfed. That remains to be seen. I need to do some further testing. Sentry was perceived to be as largely situational, and a lot of people almost said unplayable. Sentry is perceived to be situational for sure. And then Sauron does make Shuri decks a little bit more consistent. So that is what I'm predicting, dropping from 5 to 4 and then 4 to 3 on the next drop. Hopefully that'll happen in the next 3 weeks. Also, this was just super interesting. Femboy Lover is like, why Agatha, why? I guess Agatha decided to play Squirrel Girl into Bar Sinister. And then this was also funny right here. Bar Sinister, Electro, and get multiple copies. And then with cloning vats, get multiple copies of Sunspot. And then Sunspot just went through the roof. I've been wanting to do this. That looks like so much fun. I'd love for that to happen. And then lastly, this just made me crack up. This is a Cosmo Wong player, and then Danger Room blows up Cosmo, and the Wong player retreated too quickly. You retreated too quickly, my guy. Wong deck retreats a little too quickly. All right, so that is it for the video. Now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked today's video, and if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes today's video, you will be getting for free in your account a Captain Marvel not moving variant. This is not a scam. What if I told you I didn't move because you'd still lose? I feel like that's one of the top posts on Reddit, is why didn't Captain Marvel move? And one of the things I've learned is that if there is multiple copies of Captain Marvel, it doesn't really work that well. And also, the order of cards playing matters very much. Like if Dracula is played before Captain Marvel, the Dracula resolves before the Captain Marvel. It depends on when they were played. And if there is multiple copies of Captain Marvel on the board, the first one checks and says, if I move a location, can I win? And it doesn't communicate with the other Captain Marvels. Then the second one says, if I move, will I win? But it doesn't account for both of them moving. It's just not the way that it works currently in the game. I hope that's helpful information. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. Bye for now.